My name is Andreas Kargut, and I filed a human rights case against an all-Mandarin speaking strata council that refused to conduct a meeting in English or even do any translation. Richmond has changed a lot since I moved here. I moved here as a teenager in 1979 when Richmond had roughly about 60,000 people. It was a very small community. It was very community oriented. People were very friendly, very caring, and all the neighbors knew each other. That has changed dramatically, especially over the last 10 years, where you really don't know who your neighbor is. People are either buying or selling their places, or possibly just buy a place and don't live there at all. A lot of people that you might come across in Richmond may not in fact speak English, and if they do, they don't let on that they do speak English. And it seems to me that people from certain countries are completely exempt from learning our official languages, especially in Richmond, whereas people that immigrate from other countries put a lot of effort into learning our official languages if they don't already know them when they get here. My wife and I never saw that as a viable option, moving, let's say, to Ladner, where they are a lot more community oriented, but then we'd have we both of us work in Vancouver. We'd have to cross over not only a bridge, but a bridge and a tunnel. And now, of course, with the proposed construction happening for a 10-lane bridge that's completely unnecessary, driving through a construction zone is going to stall the commute, make the commute even that much longer. So that wasn't an option. We had also thought about, well, what happens if we move out to, let's say, Langley or get into the Fraser Valley? But then again, we have a life to live. We got small kids. I'd rather spend as much free time with my kids as possible rather than spending the free time in the vehicle commuting. And if I go anywhere else in Richmond, because of the way that I've noticed that people from mainland China behave, is they do a lot of things on word of mouth. So word of mouth goes from one complex to the other. Eventually word of mouth would go to another complex that I moved to, and then immediately I'd be called a racist there too, because they label me as a racist, as a crook, none of which are true. I was only trying to make the public aware that we used to have harmony, until one person came in with a whole bunch of proxy votes and had convinced the council to decide to be non-inclusive towards English-speaking Canadians. It is harming families, yeah. I went and I said goodbye to my mother just last weekend. She's quite elderly, and it's pretty tough on my oldest boy. Is very attached to her, and he's going to miss her dearly. He doesn't know when he's going to get a chance to see her again. But there's nothing left for us here. We got to look for our future, and have a future to look forward to, rather than just dealing with the past and how wonderful of a community that Richmond was when I moved here as a teenager. I spent many wonderful years in Richmond, watching it grow, and now watching it self-destruct.